The 2025 Coca-Cola 600 around the Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina was on this weekend, guys. But as always, I am here to review all of the action, all of the main talking point, the 5 main things that we learned from this weekend's race. So what did we learn from the longest race on the NASCAR Cup Series calendar? A whole lot. And the first thing, really, is that it was not to be Kyle Larson's day. So for those who haven't been following it, Kyle Larson, of course, attempted to do double duty this weekend, doing the Indy 500 back-to-back on the same day with the Charlotte Motor Speedway event, the Coke 600. Now, over in Indianapolis, do check out my review of that on the channel if you've not seen it already. But over in Indianapolis, things did not go to plan. Around halfway through the race, he ended up spinning and wrecking and out of the race. He was not going to be the first person since Tony Stewart, good old Smoke, in 2001, to be able to complete every single racing mile of both events, all 1,100 miles. And unfortunately, he also failed to do so at the Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. He was actually challenging for the lead early on in this one. I think he led the opening lap of the race. He was up there with the likes of Chase Briscoe and William Byron. But partway through the race, he just spun. He just spun out by himself, went way down the order because of that. He later recovered to a decent position by the time stage 3 happened, but I'll talk about what happened to him after that. Very much not his day on Sunday. Just one of them things, unfortunately. He said that he's not going to try double duty again. Maybe a bit of emotion playing a part in that interview just because of the logistics and stuff. It's an incredible feat to even attempt. I don't doubt he'll be back at the Indy 500, but I don't think he'll be at the Coke 600 next year, going off of what he said. But we'll see what happens there. So Jimmy Johnson, though, a very experienced driver, someone who, of course, does make the odd appearance nowadays, the 7-time NASCAR champ. He made his debut here in the NASCAR Cup Series back in 2001. Not the Coke 600, it was the 500-mile event of that year. But unfortunately, another guy who just spun out just by himself, took a few guys with him, unfortunately, during stage 2, and the 84 car did not make the end of the race. You don't like to see stuff like that. You want to see Johnson have a good time out there on the track. He had a fantastic time, of course, at the Daytona 500 earlier this season, but not his day today in the Cup Series. But let's skip ahead a bit. I'll talk about the guy who was dominating in terms of the stage wins. Don't worry, there was 4 stages here as well instead of the usual 3, just so you guys are aware. But there was a big old crash in stage 3 between the likes of Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe. They all got caught up with each other basically. 3 into 2 did not go, spun around and took a few other cars with them as a result as well. And one of those was Kyle Larson. The guy had no luck. Actually, no, he had plenty of luck. He had just a whole lot of bad luck on Sunday, unfortunately. Not the Memorial Day weekend for him. At least he was able to chill out, hopefully, on Monday. But yeah, not the one really for him, unfortunately. He was out of the race as a result of that damage. Oh, God. Honestly, just not his day. Really not his day at all. And he lost the lead in the NASCAR Cup Series Championship as well because of the results of this race. But at the end of this race, there were a few different drivers, of course, battling for the lead. Byron, who I mentioned before, Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, and Carson Hocevar was up there. He was doing an unbelievable job in the car. But unfortunately, Hocevar, in the closing stages, he was up in second at the restart for the second stage. Mechanical failure. I won't repeat what he said because it had an expletive in it, but he said the car had gone, basically. The engine was blown. And yeah, he did end up getting collected and spun around as a result. But, you know, the NASCAR drivers, to avoid him when he was going such a slow speed, fantastic job by all those guys. But eventually, as the commentator said on the Amazon highlights, he ran out of real estate. It just, yeah, no room, unfortunately, for him. Devastating for Hocevar, though. He could have won today. He could have had a fantastic chance to win, but it was not to be in the end. But who did win? The final thing, the 5th thing that we learned from this race. Well, William Byron was in an excellent position to win. He won all of the previous stages. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. Of course, all the other NASCAR Cup Series races have 3 stages, so that's normally enough to win, but not around the Coke 600, the only 600-mile race on the Cup Series calendar. And it wasn't enough for him either. Denny Hamlin was challenging in the latter stages. He ended up falling through the order very late on. But it was Ross Chastain, out of nowhere, won the race. Incredible stuff. Brilliant move to hold off his rivals in the closing stages. Unbelievable stuff. The number one car with win number one for the 2025 season, and he books his place in the postseason playoffs as a result. Oh man, you gotta be sick if you were William Byron after that. I mean, he does go to the top of this NASCAR standings. All those stage points he picked up in a second place, very much helping his cause on that one. But oh, you've got to be annoyed at that. He's done so well throughout the race, and to come out second best, oh, he must be annoyed. But he did manage to get good points, and he is in the lead of the standings now. But yeah, the Coke 600 is one of the great events of NASCAR, and to miss out on it like that, doesn't matter how many races you've won, that's got to hurt. But yeah, great for Ross Chastain. He smashed the watermelon at the end of the race. Unbelievable scenes in Victory Road right there. But yeah, we'll be back very soon with much more NASCAR content here on the channel, guys. Like I said, I already reviewed the Indy 500, which was on earlier on in the Memorial Day weekend. Have a fantastic time wherever you are in the world today, guys. And we will see you very soon for much more action from the NASCAR Cup Series just like this.